Well, good morning. Hope you guys had a good night. I had a bit of a restless night, so it wasn't the best sleep. I ended up having to move the vehicle around just to kind of get a little bit more of a level spot where I had parked it. I thought it was nice and level, but ended up not being that comfortable. So the plan for today is we're going to continue down the trail, get into Delta, Utah, work our way towards getting to the point where we just dip into Nevada. I don't know how close we'll get to the Idaho state line. Not sure yet. Depends what kind of speed we got to make. But that's the plan for today. We'll just continue rolling on down the road, enjoy the views, the temperature, and get out of this rain because it's starting to sprinkle. When you get into the deserts, but it just feels very calm up here, very clean. The air smells really sweet with like the scent of pine trees. It just rained a few minutes ago, so the air's clean from that, of course. I like it up here. Found a nice little waterfall. This mountain, and it's really dry up here normally, it seems like, but because it's raining right now, the mud is the road is turned into this kind of like sticky, tacky mud that everywhere you go you can kind of feel it kind of pack your tires up and kind of reach for grip. So I went ahead and locked it in 4-wheel drive and the center diff lock just to make sure we have extra traction and first gear, just to make sure, once you get stuck, you're stuck. So we just want to make sure we're avoiding that and just keeping momentum and tires clean. So that's a little interesting through here. So it's starting to get a little sketchy. It's wet and the mud has packed the tires up. So now we're just kind of slipping and sliding on the road here. And of course, we're going downhill. Thankfully, there's trees on each side right now, but we're going real slow and taking our time. So the road's lightened up a bit as far as how slick it was. It's still muddy. Luckily it stopped raining, so it's not getting slicker, and we're probably close to getting back to the normal roads. So far this has been the most interesting section of mud we've been into, but I figured I'd stop here and kind of check out the view here before we head back off the mountain all the way. Made it out of the mountains, out of the muddy sections up there. That was kind of intense in some sections because it was just packed up the wheels and became sticky and slick all at the same time. So it was raining very hard, we would probably had to just stayed up there and parked until it stopped raining and dried off some to come back down. So, but glad we made it through that. We'll just keep on rolling down the road and see what else we get into. So just turned down to another road on the Tat and came across some fenced in gates. So I guess this is no longer public roads. So not a big deal. We'll go back down the road and we can bypass this easily. So here I am riding on these back roads, and I look to my left and I notice that these fields are looking a little black. And then I realize, oh, they've actually been on fire, and this is the remnants from that fire, and everything's burned down to ash, and it smells of like dirty ash, really. I don't know how to explain it really. It doesn't smell very pleasant, but man, it's had a lot of damage up through there, burning the side of the mountain. So we're just outside of Delta, Utah. I don't know if you can hear me because it's really windy, but we've been doing a lot of paved roads, so I'm gonna go ahead and air back up to 35 PSI. Just now rolling into Delta, Utah. We're going to go ahead and get fueled up, see about finding something to eat, and then our next destination is going to be Baker, which is right on the Utah and Nevada border. Made it over here to Baker's, Utah, and Nevada, right around there. I went ahead and filled up over next to Garrison, Utah, according to what the receipt said. So we're gonna roll up the road over to Wendover, Utah, which is probably gonna be an hour or two away. I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna ride that way and try to find us a place to sleep for the night. I'm not sure how that's gonna play out for us because not a lot of places to camp around here. So we might have to get a hotel. I was thinking maybe when we got over to here, over in Baker's, Utah, we could maybe find something, but it wasn't really anything that interesting, to say it that way. So we're gonna keep riding up the road and maybe we'll find something. If not, we'll just keep on driving. Just got done rolling into camp for tonight. We are actually just outside of Nevada, the state line, and just down the road is I think it's called the Bonneville Salt Flats. You can see in the distance, just barely, as well as Wendover is down the road from here, probably like 30 to 40 minutes away. We're actually on some public lands right now, and a really nice camp spot. It's quiet. Haven't seen nobody else out here. And I found a nice little flat spot with some short grass. There was another spot just down the road that had some gravel that you could pull off into, but I decided this one was a little better. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today. It's been a long trip. It's been again, it's kind of like it was in Oklahoma, where we was doing a lot of mileage per day. Nothing really much to see, you know, just a lot of time lapse, kind of showing you some distance that I've covered, and you know, just showing you that way, unlike when we was like in Colorado, where we could, you know, talk about more what we're getting into. But you know, recently out here, it's been kind of flat and desert-like, and I think I got like 300 miles in today, so it's pretty good driving. Could have stopped a lot sooner. There was like a hotel down in the last town we was in, but I didn't think we should stop there, so decided to keep going. And we ended up finding a really nice spot. So tomorrow the plan is to keep going down the road, maybe gas up in Wendover, and continue up towards, I think it's Salt Lake City area. I'm not sure what we'll get into or how far we'll be able to get as well. Just depends on the terrain. I mean, like today we did a lot of gravel roads, you know, and you can make some real good speed on these gravel roads, but we'll just see. So after Nevada, excuse me, not Nevada, after we get through Utah and we'll get into Idaho, that's probably going to be a day or two of driving, depending on how far we get tomorrow. After that, we get into Oregon. Now, Oregon is going to be the most intense from what I've read. It's the most remote. Most of the fuel stops are 200 miles in between. It even says it on the GPS waypoints. So that should be interesting. Not worried about that. We have a 25-gallon fuel tank factory. Even if we get 10 miles to the gallon, which we actually got 10 miles to the gallon in Tennessee, North Carolina area when we was going so slow, that still gets us 250 miles. So we'll be good on that front. But if you did have a smaller vehicle with less fuel, I'd say carry some extra, but we'll be good. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed today. I'm going to go ahead and rest a bit, cook something for dinner, and relax. So otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you then. So I'm going through editing the video for today, and I look in the distance, and I see the sunset over the mountains right there, and it's starting to disappear. But there for a few seconds, I don't know if you can see it. I know my camera doesn't pick it up good enough, but it was like these strips of clouds coming over the mountain with this orange, like fire. Looked like lengths of flame coming over the mountain right there. It's times like this that I wish I had like a really good quality, like high-powered camera to take pictures like this, but thought I'd share this with you before we signed off for the rest of the day.